Good morning, Rome. Welcome to Toga Topic. I'm joined today by everyone's favorite host, Spartacus. And I'm your host, Vicky.
Hello, citizens. We have breaking news coming out of Hispania today. We go now live with our correspondent, Thor.
Thanks, Spartacus. I'm here in Hispania, where the beasts are tamer than the men. Our Emperor Augustus has finally finished conquering these lands. They will now go back to our glorious empire. Back to you, Vicky.
Thanks, Thor. Because of the recent developments out of the Hispania, we are bringing you a special edition of Topic Toga. We will focus on the rise in power and influence of the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire.
To understand the influences of today, we must understand the influences of yesteryear. Thor has the scoop on the Etruscans in this edition of Who Are the Etruscans?
Who are the Etruscans? Well, nobody really knows, but we sure do have a lot to thank for them. Where would we be without these styling togas, our alphabet, our trade with the Mediterranean world, or the marvelous architectural innovations? You see, there were two brothers, Romulus and Remus, who settled on neighboring hills. Romulus believed in the idea of Pomeranium, which was the idea of a force that could keep out evil or impure things. So, he built a wall. Remus, jealous of his brother's wall, decided to infuriate his brother and jump over the wall. Romulus, in a furious frenzy, killed his brother and stated that any person that would follow such an example would have the same fate. Then, as time went on, small groups of people came from the north that we call the Etruscans. These people combined these two villages and the villages surrounding them to create the city of Rome we know today. The Etruscans ruled until 509 BC, when we expelled the Etruscan king Tarian the Proud, and then we created our republic. Back to you, Spartacus.
Thanks, Thor. To celebrate the history of our traditional ideal, we now visit the Colosseum's very own Poetry Slam, where we will experience the reading of the works by the famous old poet Ovid.
The spirits of the dead ask for little. They are more grateful, piety, than for an expensive gift. Not greedy are the gods who haunt the sticks below, a roof tile covered with a sacrificial crown. Scattered kernels, a few grains of salt, bread dipped in wine, and loose violets. These are enough. Put them in a potsherd and leave them in the middle of the road.
Well, that was great. Speaking of culture, has anyone been to the Roman bath lately? Social bathing is the latest thing.
You got it, Spartacus. The Greeks influenced this. We used to never take baths. I know I didn't. Now our buildings have pools and aqueducts that bring water to them. They are also used for exercise and to socially converse.
That's not the only thing the Greeks have had an influence on in our society.
That's right, Spartacus. The Greeks migrated to Italy during the 8th century BC. We are different from the Greeks in that when we conquered the Italian territories, we gave citizenship to the conquered people. Greeks also focused on the ideal state or on political reforms, whereas we focus on more legal concepts to deal with practical problems.
The Roman Republic was comprised of many assemblies that were made up of different classes of Roman citizens. Centuries were used like our counties to divide the Republic. The centuries elected representatives that met in the century assembly. They elected consuls, praetors, and censors. They were the only assembly allowed to declare war and ratify the census. They were sometimes used as a court of appeals. The assembly of the tribes was made up of 35 tribes based on geographical subdivisions.
The plebeian council was made up of the plebeians, or the common people. In the beginning of the Republic, they held little influence, but slowly and surely gained it through political maneuvering. This council passed most of the laws, was used as a court of appeal, and it was similar to the assembly of tribes.
The Roman definition of a magistrate was just a government official. Magistrates were used extensively to regulate the government and maintain order. The magistrates held certain powers, such as being able to command military affairs and punishing the citizens. All magistrates shared a position with another magistrate. They could veto any action taken by a magistrate of an equal or lower rank. Our culture has always been an important part of our everyday lives. Much of our culture is inspired by the Greeks.
As we established ourselves socially and culturally, we began to understand our destiny as the dominant force of the known world. The early leaders understood the importance of diplomacy, but also the force necessary to keep the borders secure. One of the first wars we fought was against the Achae and the Volsci. Slowly but steadily, we expanded through the peninsula, gaining citizens, land, and wealth. Here's Thor with more information on the Greeks and how they affect us.
Our imperialism led to a conflict with the Greeks. The Greeks called for the king of Epirus, Pyrrhus, to lead a campaign into Italy. He was victorious against the Roman legion, but at a great cost. His men were weary and his army was depleted, so Pyrrhus and his army retreated from Italy.
This sense of imperialism led to our society having to face conflicts. We see this in the Punic Wars and the Gallic Wars. There were 3 Punic Wars, all of which were fought against Carthage over the expansion of the Roman Empire into the existing Carthaginian Empire. In the first of the wars, we were the underdogs. However, by the time the Third War had come around, we had completely demolished the Carthaginians.
Then, the new military leader, Julius Caesar, defeated the Gauls. We originally were attempting to expand into Gaul, and eventually this was settled with the gaining of the territory at the Battle of Alesia. This sparked Julius's potential to become a leader of Rome.
After that battle, he became the governor of Cisalpine Gaul. He served as a leader with the biggest impact and success within our society. This skyrocketed his influence within the empire. But he was unfortunately assassinated by a group of conspirators within the Senate. His 18-year-old grandson, Augustus, was now his heir. He now serves as our first emperor, ending the Roman Republic and beginning the new age of the Roman Empire.
Wait, in breaking news, something called MTV has just been invented, and the first video played was by a group called Lil Rome.
If you got empire problems, I feel bad for you, son. We got 99 problems, but being rich ain't one. 753 Romulus and Rubens founded Rome, yeah, BC. 2 brothers who built separate homes couldn't live in harmony. Next we committed larceny on the Etruscans, because we couldn't trust them. Italy down, we moved on to Spain. We came, we saw, we conquered. We went Yonkers on the Gauls, but there it didn't cease. We still had one more caprice. We still wanted Persia, and we wanted Greece. You know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. An empire doesn't come down in a day.
You thought EHAP couldn't get more fun, but now you got Rapid by Mr. Dunn.
Wow. That was rap. I mean crap. That was crap.
We just invented rap!
Nope.
Our imperial
If you got empire problems, I feel bad for you, son. We got 99 problems, but being rich ain't one.
What the?
Turn it off. Stop swearing. I got you swearing at me on film, kid. All right. Listen to me. I'm your mother. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. If you got empire problems, I feel bad for you, son. We got 99 problems, but being rich ain't one. If you got empire...